Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me this morning. I'm Regan Says. I am your host, Regan Adams with All Things Regan. So today's topic is, if not you, then who? So this weekend, which was really quick, I didn't do anything. I'm mad because I found out that Atlanta had their women's expo kind of like at the last minute. I had like no idea that it was this weekend. So when I found out, I kind of wanted to go to that, but I didn't. So I really just stayed at home. I did have to work my second job and do a couple of runs, but I really stayed at home this weekend and did nothing. Like I cooked and ate and laid around, and I do not get to do that often. So it was actually a treat and it was refreshing. Actually, I got to really rest, which is much needed because I'm normally like in the street, go, 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 go. So I actually got to rest and that was a good thing. So that was my weekend. So let's go ahead and get into the topic. So the reason I came up with this is I have been seeing just probably the past couple of weeks, different people talking about moving to another place because they are frustrated about where they live. So it's not just in Knoxville, it's people that live in other areas. And I believe we all have had the thought of possibly moving somewhere because we're not getting the support we want, or mostly that's what it is. We think that we're not going to get the support we want. So it's not just going on in Knoxville, it is going on in different places. And the crazy thing to me is, a lot of people are like, well, Reagan, have you not ever wanted to move? And I said never. Like the thought never crossed my mind. I'm going to tell you, the only time it crossed my mind is when I was getting ready to graduate from college. Like maybe I knew I was getting ready to graduate, so I was contemplating like, am I going to move back to Knoxville? Or am I going to move somewhere else? And the only reason I believe, I may be wrong, but the only reason I believe that I stayed is because I was in a relationship with my husband at the time and he asked me to marry him. And so he's from like, he's not from Chicago, but he's from Gary. So in that area. And I knew he didn't want to go back that way, and he actually likes Knoxville because it's a slower pace. And I've always thought, you know, if you're married, I don't know about I do know about the dating scene back in the day, but like the dating scene now, I think as long as you are married and live in Knoxville, like it's cool. So since, you know, we were getting married, I was like, hey, we'll just move back. And then once I graduate, like I had already secured a corporate job once I graduated from college. So like I graduated on Saturday and I was working in corporate on Monday. So everything was kind of just aligned. So I never have wanted to leave. And then plus my husband and I travel a lot. Like he's always traveled, but I have too. So once we got together, like it was nothing for us just to pick up on a whim and go, babe, you feel like going to Atlanta? Babe, you feel like going to Chicago? Babe, you feel like going wherever? We would just pick up and go. So Knoxville is always like cool for home. And if we wanted to go somewhere, we always could. So I've never felt stuck, right? So I'm going to actually speak to that, and I'm going to give like my opinion because this is what Regan says. So it's always going to be my opinion. But I also want to just kind of give another perspective, because maybe, you know, you're watching and you're thinking, well, I've always thought about moving. So I'm going to see what she's going to say. And then it's another perspective. But anyway, so when I started my business 5 years, it's almost been 5 years ago. Well, it has been 5. Has it? Almost 5. And when I started, I was still living here in Knoxville, but my first event was in Atlanta. Okay. And then from that point on, I always just did all my events out of town. I did that for the sole purpose in my mind. I thought, well, if I have them in Knoxville, nobody's going to support me, because, you know, somebody who's doing something, they're like, oh, you know, Reagan, she doing X, Y, and Z, but they don't ever come and support. So it was already embedded in my mind that if I did anything in Knoxville, nobody would come and support it. Right. And so that's the main reason I've always done my events out of town. And For another reason, I like going out of town. Like, I love to travel. That's just my thing. I love to travel. I don't like to sit still. So, I always wanted to make sure that if I didn't, there are other women who may not get the opportunity to travel. So anytime I had a women's event, let's go somewhere else. We don't always have to stay in the same place. And I remember I had a conversation with a business friend of mine, and she was saying that she wanted to move. This was maybe a year or so ago. And I said, but really, you can stay here and just kind of, if you want to do business abroad, or what, not abroad, or well, abroad, but in other states, you can still do that and live in Knoxville. And she was like, no, I don't want to. And I was like, but I do it. And she said, but you're really not here in Knoxville. And when she said that, it clicked. I'm like, I'm not. And I remember, because I said, I'm never going to do events in Knoxville. I remember maybe trying to have a couple of events in Knoxville, and I had to cancel a few of them. I did my daddy-daughter date night, and I had a really good showing for that. So there was a lane for that. So I just stuck that in my memory bank. I had some other little things. I had the wives arriving in time, which I stuck that in my memory bank as well. And I would elaborate on both of those, but I'm not. We're sitting on those. But anyway, so there was a lane for that. And I had some other little things, and there's been times like I've had to cancel because nobody has, they never paid their money. Or I remember having a specific event here in Knoxville, and I forgot what it was. We were having dinner or something, and like a jewelry showing or something. And I take that back. One person came. And I've had times like that where one person came. And the thing about it is, which I have some notes here. So, I may be looking down and throwing my paper up every now and again. When I had, and kind of backtracking a little bit, I now do Closet Conversations with Regan. So that'll be showing this Wednesday. So plug that in this Wednesday. And the name of the video is He Said, She Said. And we're still in the relationship series. But now we have men that are going to be speaking. So I have 2 men that are on the video, and then also another young lady with Jarcelle, which she's my business sister. And so we're all 4 going to be on the He Said, She Said video. So make sure that you don't miss that. But one of the gentlemen that I had on there was speaking about consistency. And then I also had a business meeting the Saturday before last, and the young lady, we were talking about, having people on the show. And she said, make sure she spoke about consistency, somebody who is consistent in business or consistent with a good following, giving me all these attributes that I need to be looking for, or characteristics that I need to be looking for when making sure that I have people on the show. And somebody's name was brought up, a mutual business friend of ours. And they said, well, are they consistent? And I don't know what they're doing. So it was kind of wavy, they're cool, but not consistent. I don't even know what they're doing. Like, when you brand yourself, you are branded. So she got to telling me, the branding, what it looks like to her. And so we talked about that. And so going back to being consistent, and if you don't have your stuff together while you're in whatever state you're in, you moving is not going to change the situation. I look at, what did I put on here? What are you doing here? So for me, consistency, even though I said I was never going to do events in Knoxville, when people started noticing that I lived here but had stuff other places, the question then arose, why are you not having events in Knoxville? So I said, well, let me start. So I started, and I had to start small, but as I kept having them, people started coming. When I had my vision board party here in Knoxville, people came out. When I had it in Pigeon Forge, people came out. So I had to be consistent. Did I always have a full room? Absolutely not. And I know it's discouraging. Listen, I know about discouragement. I know what it is to have an event and nobody come. I know what it is to have an event and have to cancel it. I know about that. But I also know if you keep going and keep showing up, people are going to show up. People are going to take notice and say, you know what? She keeps having it. I think I'm going to go. Because I have people all the time. I'll see them out in the street. Girl, I see your stuff. I need to get to this. Girl, I need to I need to go to that. But if I cancel, and people are busy. I got it. People are busy. But if I cancel the event, and when they're ready to go, and they can't go because you cancel, then what? Right? So I have to keep going. And if you don't remain consistent in doing whatever it is you're doing, and I'm mostly speaking toward entrepreneurship, okay? If you're not consistently showing up and being consistent in your branding and whatever business it is that you're doing, your bad work habits or lack thereof are going to follow you wherever you go. And you're still not going to be booming. I don't care if you want to move to another place. A lot of people want to go to Atlanta. I dare not take what I do to Atlanta. You have to worry about me saying I want to move to Atlanta. Even if I wanted to move, I would never move to Atlanta. Not never say never. But with my business in mind, I would never go to Atlanta. I want to go where it's not saturated. Atlanta is very oversaturated with everything I do. With my coaching program, let me just give you some examples. With the type of events that I have, with my coaching program, with the things that I bring to the table, it is it's far and in between here in Knoxville. Far and in between. So with that, me knowing that and doing research with that, my lane is wide open, right? So all I need to do is connect with the right people, or what I've done is build my own platform and let people know what I'm doing and get out there and meet people. See, a lot of the times people are like, ain't nobody messing with nobody in Knoxville, but you haven't even done your part to go out and meet the people that you need to meet, or connect to the people that you need to connect to, that can actually help put you on or help you create a lane, right? Or is it that you just want to move just to move? Now, if you want to move just to move to, just to move, but never say, and I can speak this for Knoxville, never say there's no support in Knoxville, because there is. If you're thinking about support as far as like your family and your friends, never look at them, because they can only buy and do and support so much. You need outside people. Most of my support, 98% of my support comes from outside people that I don't even know. Right? So I can never rely on them. Okay. Let's see. Another thing that I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but for me personally, going out and coming back in really helped my business. And just depending on what you do. So when I say going out and coming back in, me having events in LA, Vegas, Charlotte, Nashville, Chicago, me in Atlanta, me having those events away kind of gave me credibility, so to speak. So people are like, well, if she can do events out of state, and she got people coming there that don't even know her, well, when she comes to Knoxville, Regan, she been doing big things. Like the little fella said on my, I don't want to call him little fella because he's a grown man, on my video that you'll see Wednesday, provided you tune in. He was like, he was giving an example about a relationship part and, calling and blah, blah, blah. And he said, like Regan, she'll just, in her case, she might just fly out to Miami. Yes. But it is so funny how people view me. I think it is hilarious. I really do. It's like I'm just jetting out. Now it's going to happen. Don't worry about it. It's going to happen. But it's just funny how people view me like I'm just out on the road and I'm just doing this, that, and the third. Not yet. I mean, I am, but I ain't. You know what I'm saying? But I just thought that was funny. So I just think, like I said, going out and doing business and coming back into Knoxville has given me kind of a leg up. So people kind of see me as like a mover and a shaker. Not there yet. I'm going to receive it. It's coming, but not there yet. Okay. So, let's see. Did I say anything? I want to say I covered everything, because this is really going to be a short video. You will go to, okay, said that. Another thing, sometimes when people think, not me, because like I said, I don't want to move. We know people in the other places that we want to move, and those people are like, hey girl or hey boy, you need to come down here or come up here and we got this going on and they gonna love you and whoop, 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 whoop. Have you even gone to test the market? Because sometimes our friends on our business people will hype you up real good and you get there and be like, what had happened? Because it's the same wow I hit when I was living wherever I was living, right? So for me, and this is just how I live my life, I never go off of what somebody tells me. Never. Somebody, let's say I have a friend that calls me from somewhere in Mississippi. Girl, you need to move here to Jackson because ain't nobody doing whoop whoop and the lane is wide open for you and all you need to do is come here and whoop whoop. Oh, okay. Thank you, girl. Thank you, boy. And I'm going to get on and start doing my own research and see what the lane really is. I may even go and travel there for a little while and see what's what. I may even do an event. You know, I'm going to test the lane out. Never take what somebody else says. Never take what my pastor, my God rest his soul, he would say that even though I'm preaching you this word, you make sure you go back to the word and make sure what I said is in there. Because I may get something wrong, which is true. We all may get something wrong. And then you might just have that friend who's wanting you to move there just because they want you there. Right? And they may have all good intentions for you and your business, but sometimes it's not like that. It's not that. It's not that. So be mindful and think through always moving, because sometimes moving is running away from your problems. I'm just going to be honest. It is, because you don't have the focus that you need when you need to be really here. Not to me, Knoxville is wide open for a lot of stuff. It really is. I know it's wide open for me and I ain't even tapped into it yet, but it's wide open for a lot of stuff, especially if you have something that's not here. It's wide open. It is wide open. I think it's, again, being consistent, being around the right people, the right connections, and making sure that you're doing everything you know how to do in your power while you are right here, and not feeling like because if you move or you want to move, that's going to help your business, because it may not. Because sometimes when you don't get the small stuff or those things right here, like I said, you're going to run into the same problems because you still not handling what you're supposed to handle on this end. So, and other people, like I talked to a young lady, she was here in Knoxville and she moved to Atlanta, but she's not in business. She just moved just to, I guess, have a better life, which Atlanta worked out for her. Now, I'm not saying what I think is for everybody, because it's not. Some people may have to move to get whatever done. You know, you might have, I mean, I don't know. It just may be extenuating circumstances where you do feel like you need to move and be better. Because some people have moved from Knoxville or have moved from wherever and have done great things. So I'm not saying everybody should stay. But for me, I don't, unless God like ups and moves me, like I'm going to be here. And I can always do my business wherever. Like my stuff is a phone call away and a plane or a car away. I can do business wherever, or a computer away or phone, whatever away. But I just wanted to, if you've ever considered moving, make sure that you look at everything. Don't just up and leave. Don't just, like, I feel like leaving because, you know, they said my stuff is going to be booming there. Because I'm telling you, if you don't have all your stuff together and a good work ethic, that's the main thing. A good work ethic, stick-to-itiveness. I was about to say compromise. We ain't compromising nothing. I lost the word. Yeah, where you continue to do it. Did I write it down? Consistency. I've said it 1,000 times on this video. Consistency. You're going to run into the same problem. And what's going to happen is you just move for no reason. I mean, you could probably make something work there, but, you know, Knoxville, to me, if you live in Knoxville and you have a business or you have a nonprofit or any kind of a new idea, Knoxville is a wide open market. And I really just believe it will be the people that you connect to and being consistent and getting out there. is going to make you boom. So, and I'm making like really good relationship connections right now, which I have not been used to doing because I've been so introverted. But now I'm just like, you need people. Like you need people to grow, different people. You can't just keep standing in the same box with the same old people. You need to get out of your comfort zone and meet different people. And that's what I'm doing now. And I actually have a meeting this week with some new people that I've never worked with before, not on a business level, but I'm excited about it. Both of them are different, but we both have big thoughts, big dreams, big goals, big aspirations, and together we can get more done. So I'm excited, and I'm excited about 2019. We're just meeting new people and expanding. And that's it. So just consider everything. Consider everything and be honest. Be very honest with yourself about where you are. Because like I said, sometimes you just want to up and move because you want to move. And if you want to move, just move. But never say, there's no support here. It's dead. There's nothing here, because there is. And it's just your outlook on it. And like I said, this message may not be for everybody, but I just wanted to give you another perspective from my perspective. So anyway, you guys have a blessed rest of the week. I have a vision board party coming up at the end of January. I know it's Christmas time. I know, y'all, but listen, what we are trying to do is prepare you for not waiting to the last minute to shop for Christmas stuff, not waiting to get paid to start buying your Christmas stuff, and preparing for your future, but not only your future, but the future of your family, your legacy. And the name of the event is The Pretty Elephant. And the pretty elephant, you know, we always talk about the elephant in the room, because I know some people are like, what is the pretty elephant? You know, that elephant in the room that nobody wants to talk about, that's in your way. And that thing that's in your way is keeping you from going to the other side and pursuing your goals and your visions and your dreams. And I want to talk about that elephant, because that elephant is real pretty. We got it dressed up really pretty, but nobody wants to address it. Nobody wants to talk about it. And it's time to talk about it so we can do something about it and get the elephant out of the room. Yeah, she's pretty to look at, but she's not serving a purpose, right? So anyway, you guys go to allthingsregan.com, Regan, REGAN.com, allthingsregan.com, and register today. It's only $27. I'm going to feed you. Now, if you know me, your girl, fill it in, loves to eat. So anytime you come to any of my events, it's only been one where the food was trash, and that was years ago, and we will never make that mistake again, right? If you've been to any of my events, you know I'm going to feed you right? It's going to be good. It's like if you come to my house and I've cooked for you, if I feed you, it's going to be good. So the food is going to be on point. The information is going to be on point. And guess who's going to be speaking? Me, right? So you know that's going to be on point. It's going to be real and relevant information that is going to help, because why? I'm here to help, right? So anyway, you guys go ahead and fall in line. Allthingsregan.com, $27. Go ahead and do it now, because you're going to blow $27 before the month is out and you don't even know where it went to. Am I lying? No. Okay, so go ahead and register. This is for your future. Your future, right? We're here to help. Each one teach one. We growing together, right? So anyway, you guys have a blessed, prosperous, productive week. Allthingsregan.com. Talk to you later. Bye.